morning everybody, my name is Em and welcome to Walk with Em. Today I'm going to teach you how to use trekking poles like a pro. Get that right, Em. Now, whether or not you are going on long distances or doing some climbs or you just want a bit of stability, using trekking poles is probably a really great prevention for injuries and possibly will help you get in many more miles and using as least energy as possible. I think if you are going to do the Camino, and I do have experience in that, having trekked 800 kilometers and then now heading to the Portuguese in a couple of weeks, that trekking poles is going to be your best friend. I can tell you that on the Camino Francis, during those very long walks of thunderstorm and rain, and actually if it's thunderstorm it won't help you much, but if it's rain and there's steep climbs and gravel, you want your poles there to act as a stabilizer. Also too is that it will help you push off, okay? First up though, let's talk about the actual poles itself. Here's the anatomy of the poles, okay? First of all, you've got two straps. Okay, these are really handy because at the end of a trek and you're getting into an albergue or going home, you want to be able to hang this up. Secondly, these poles should come with some kind of a soft handle. Now you can get poles that are like plastic, but I wouldn't recommend it. So I am always very partial to cork handles, and if I can't get cork, then some kind of a foamy grip, because then it will mean that there's less of tension when you hold these poles. Secondly, the poles that you should get inevitably will have something like a lock and release mechanism. And here you can see that if I was a taller person, I would, open this up, oops, like so, and extend it, oops, or, oh my God, or push this back, okay? So it's a lock and release extendable trekking poles. Now poles should be 90 degrees to your arms. So it should be like this. See how it's 90 degrees sort of? Well, it is, okay? So that's kind of the idea. So the poles would also most likely come with some kind of a round circular thing like this. Is plastic, or I don't know, maybe silicone, I'm not sure if they're more expensive. And it's supposed to serve as a mud guard. So when you're, pushing against the ground with your poles, hopefully the mud would just gather here. That's the idea. And then these little feet things, you can actually buy them separately. Oh gosh, okay. It should be a lot easier to take off than this, but poles typically have metal tips, and that's for when you go through very soft terrain. However, when you walk through the Camino, and especially on the many routes actually, but Camino Francis, you walk through quite a few villages, you don't want the metal tip to be making click clop, because the villagers absolutely go berserk with that. And fair enough too, because often you walk through in the crack of dawn when you want an early start, and it's just very noisy for the villagers trying to get some decent sleep. So you will always, if you're going to walk through pavement or concrete and you don't want to have too much noise, you put these feet on. And I always try and remove them when I am on the trail and use the metal tips. And these were not my poles that I took to, I bought my poles in St. Jean Pied de Port, but I gave them away to Margaret's son who joined her for the Camino Finisterre, because I couldn't take them home without having to check them in the plane, so at the airport. So these are my new poles, which I use in Melbourne. Anyways, the idea is to make sure that you understand the rules when you carry them through airports and so forth. I don't think you can take poles on the flight, but just check that out. I'm pretty sure you can't. Okay, so let's talk about how to use the poles. First of all, these straps are not only for hanging at the end of the day, they are really good to help secure your wrist and hand in position. And so always use the poles with this kind of thing forward. Looks like a duck, doesn't it? And what you do is you go under the straps and then over like that. So then you're gripping it like that. Does that make sense? I'll demonstrate that again. Under and then pull down the straps. So then if you fall, you can just go. All right? That's the principal idea. Okay, so let's now walk with the poles. Now folks, if you are walking uphill, I would shorten these poles by about 5 or 10 centimeters depending on how you feel. To be honest, I don't shorten my poles at all. I just bring my wrist down a little bit, okay? But it's up to you. Or but if you were to like I think people would say that you should lessen it if you're walking uphill for a long time. In which case, pretend that this is 5 centimeters less. It's opposite foot to the pole. So you go 1, 2, 1, 2. All right? 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, going down hills, you'd need to be longer, so opposite. So pretend that you would want to extend this and you're going downhill. So it'd be like this. I sometimes put the poles in front of me just to make sure that I don't fall when I go downhill. I find going downhill actually harder than uphill. Put your poles like this, should be slightly forward, and this a little bit back, and as close to your feet, the out of your feet, but don't stab your feet obviously. Let me just demonstrate that again, going uphill. Now let's talk a little bit about techniques. Your poles should move in opposition of your legs, okay? To balance out your stride. It's like walking with 4 legs. The animals have it right. It means that when your right foot is forward, your left pole should also plant forward, but in opposition, okay? So it's like walking with 4 legs to keep balance, if that makes sense. Yeah, the leading hand is the opposite to the foot. The leading hand to the opposite foot. What you don't want to do is this. That is what not to do. Also to carrying your poles in front of you like kangaroos. Yeah, like this. Do not do that. Well, if you wanted to, maybe going uphill, but anyways, it's just a rough guide. This is the wrong way of carrying poles and walking with them. No, do not do this. I mean, if you want to, you can, but it's just not very comfortable. Okay, and don't carry them like this. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's all about natural rhythm of your walk. Opposite leg to the pole. The pole again needs to be nearest to your feet on the edge, but behind, with the head of the pole leading. The important thing is to not overthink it. It should be natural. So, you know, it's pretty much like, but before you know it, you will be a pro. So it's about it like this. Okay? So that's it, everybody. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. It's nice and short and sweet, hopefully. I just want you guys to know that you can use your trekking poles to help you have a more enjoyable, safer and injury-free trip. I swear by these. These are like a really important piece of my gear, and you can pick them up for, I don't know, roughly, it depends how much you want to spend for your poles, but you can pick them up for $15, euros, sorry, 15 euros and all the way up. That's it, all the best, and remember that if you found some worth from this video, please hit the like button for me, and more importantly, please also subscribe, because I'm trying to get my numbers up to 1,000. And I would love to wish you a buen camino. See you next video. Bye for now.